Mr. President, my colleagues have
Senator
spoken.
from Maine.
President, my colleagues have spoken eloquently about the weaknesses of the supposed new clean power plan, which really is anything but. And I'd like to speak a minute about why this is such a detrimental idea for the country, but also for my state. Let's put it in very stark terms. Even by the terms of the new plan that's been announced, the original Clean Power Plan would have reduced carbon emissions by 30%, CO2 by 30%, the new plan by about 1%, and that may be being generous. We have clean air and water in Maine, but pollution knows no boundaries. That's one of the problems with this plan, is that it essentially leaves up to each state how to regulate the plants within its borders. That's a good idea, except the pollution from these plants doesn't stay within those borders. This is a representation of the way air moves in the northeast part of the United States, and what you can see is the arrows are coming up over Massachusetts, the Gulf of Maine, and then into Maine, west through Vermont, New Hampshire into Maine, through Quebec and back into Maine. We are literally the end of the country's tailpipe. And therefore, anything which weakens pollution controls to our west or south or indeed north is a direct harm to my people. And that's why I think this plan is so ill-conceived and will not achieve meaningful results. And by its own terms, we will see more deaths as a result of this plan. They admit that in the data that's been submitted with the plan, that deaths will increase. In my state of Maine, we already have higher than average asthma rates. This will only exacerbate that. What this plan is doing, essentially, is extending the life of dirty, polluting plants and shortening the life of real people. I don't think that's the direction we should be moving in. I think this body should correct that, and I believe that this is important to the country and also to the region, and particularly to the state that I represent. The words clean should not be in this plan, because that is not what it does. A clean power plan should do what it says it is. It should improve the environment, should improve the air for the people of this country, not make them worse, which is what this plan would do. Mr. President, I yield the floor to my colleague from Maryland.